Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series is a very well popular known series. It is not a series that has any arithmetical progression or geometric progression. Series is simple. When we have to get the new element, then the new element value is the sum of the previous two values. And the first two values of the Fibonacci series are 0 and 1. This is the standard that whenever a Fibonacci series starts, the first two elements are 0 and 1. The Fibonacci series states that the very next element in the series is always a sum of its previous two values. So if we check here, the new element will be the sum of 0 and 1, that is 1. Now again, the new element that the series will have is the addition of previous two values, that is 1 and 1, so 2. Now the next element would be again the sum of previous two values, that is 1 and 2, 3. The next element will be sum of 2 and 3, so 5. 3 and 5 is 8, 5 and 8 is 13, 8 and 13 is 21, 13 and 21, 34. So this goes on. So this is the Fibonacci series which we have to print. We have to take number from the user of the number of elements that we have to print. If user enters 10, then this all 10 elements should be printed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. If user enters 5, then the first 5 elements, that is up to 3, 0, 1, 1, 2 and 3. These numbers should be printed. If user enters 7, then simple, the first 7 elements should be printed, that is up to 8. So up to 8 the numbers should be printed. Now how to create the logic or program of this kind of question? Fibonacci series is a very important series. Depending on this series, we have a number of series in upcoming chapter. So first of all, we already know that the first elements are 0 and 1. So we will take a variable which already has this value, a equals to 0 and b equals to 1. These are the constant numbers that we already know that the Fibonacci series will possess. Now we know that the next element in this series will always be the sum of the previous two numbers. So I can take the third element as a plus b. So this will give us the third element. Now what to do for fourth element? D equals to b plus c. This is our first element. This is our second element. This is our third element. This is our fourth element. And now if we want fifth element would be c plus d. But how long we will keep on doing this? Because the number entered by the user is not a constant. It will change from user to user. So how to develop the logic? We can see here that this statement, addition of the numbers, is getting repeated. So what I will do is, I will keep these statements in one loop. So the user will enter the number in, let's say, n variable. We will initialize the value of a as 0, b as 1. Now until the value of n becomes 0, or we can say that until we have the number of elements that are entered by the user is not getting completed, we will keep on doing some set of statements. So I will decrement the value of n so that we can count what number of elements we need to print our series, and we will keep on repeating until the value of n is completely 0. Now we already know that we have to do the addition of first two numbers. So what I will do is c equals to a plus b. So we will get the third element. Here a, b and c. So to track the values of variables, I am going to use a method called tracing or tracking method. In this method, we will keep on tracking the values of the variables that we are using in the program. So let's say if the user enters number as 5, so n will have value of 5, a will have value of 0, b will have value of 1, which are already initialized here. Now we are doing c equals to a plus b. So now c will have value of 1 because 0 plus 1 is 1. What I will do is I will keep on changing the values of a, b and c going forward in the series. So a will remove this value, 1 will be given to a and this one will be given to b. I will keep on changing these values as we move ahead in the series. I will print the value of a with some space. So in first loop this 0 will be printed. Now what I have to do? I have to give the value of b to a. Now the value of b is given to a. So the value of a will now have the value which was earlier in b. What will be the value of b? B will have value of c. So here 1 will go to b and here 1 will go to a. And then we will decrement the value of I because one time it is done and one number is our printed. The first element of the series is printed. Now this value will get decrement to 4. Next time it will go above n is greater than 0. Yes, it is greater than 0. What it will do? C equals to a plus b. What is the value of a and b? Once this set of statements were done, the number got changed to this and this. So it will do the addition of 1 and 1 and it will give us 2. Now it will print the value of a. What is the value of a? That is 1. So 1 will be printed with some space because we have considered some space here, and it is the print statement. When print statement is used, we will not go to the new line. It will keep on printing in the same line. So 1 will be printed. Now again this is the replacement statement. So 1 will go out, this one will be stored in place of 1 and 2 will be stored in place of this one. So now the value of a becomes 1, value of b becomes 2. This will go here, we will decrement the value of n, this will become 3. This will go above, check the condition is true. Yes, it is true. It will go inside c equals to a plus b. What is the value of a? That is 1, b 2. It will add these two numbers and store in c. So now c will have value of 3 which will replace 2. Next time again value of a will be printed. What is the value of a? That is 1. So 1 will be printed. Now a equals to b. Now 2 will replace the value of 1. So 1 will be replaced by 2. b equals to c. So c value will be given to b. and it will have 3. Decrement the value of n, this will become 2. It will go above, check the condition, this is again true. We will go inside c equals to a plus b. C equals to a plus b. What is the value of a? That is 2. B is 3. So addition of these two numbers is 5. It will print the value of a. What is the value of a? Value of a is 2. Then we will change the value of a and b. So b value will be given to a and c value will be given to b. So now value of a becomes 3 and value of b becomes 5. Decrement the value of n, which will become 1. It will go above, check the condition, condition is again true, it will go inside c equals to a plus b. A is 3, b is 5. Both the addition will give us the value of 8 and it will be stored in c. Now it will print the value of a, which is 3. Then the value of a and b will be replaced. So 5 will be given here, 8 will be given here, and 3 will be replaced by 5, 5 will be replaced by 8, and we will decrement the value of n. So now n becomes 0. This will go above. Is 0 greater than 0? So now the condition here becomes false and this will not go inside. The value entered was 5, that the user wanted to print 5 elements of the Fibonacci series, and we can see here that the 5 elements of the Fibonacci series are printed. First element, second element, third element, fourth element and fifth element. So these are the elements which are printed. User can enter any number. If user even enters 13, then this will also give us the first 13 elements of the Fibonacci series. Always try to follow this tracing or tracking method in which we are tracking the values of these variables. This is a very useful method in which we can easily solve any kind of question that comes in the exam. So try to follow this tracking method. This will really solve your problem and help you to develop a logic of the program. Now let's try to see this in BlueJ. Here you can see that we have taken the scanner class. We will be calling the object of the scanner class and take input of the number of elements that user wants to enter. A and B values are initialized. We will print this statement before this loop that the Fibonacci series will be printed further on. If we print this inside the loop, then it will keep on repeating this print statement Fibonacci series as many number of times the number of elements that user wants to print. So we don't want that kind of output. We just want that Fibonacci series should be printed only one time, that is about the elements of the series. So we will print this before the loop. Now these are the same set of statements which I explained earlier. So only one change, that I have printed the statement above. There will be no such change in the output of the program. Let's see the output. So we had taken the number as 5. So when the number of elements of Fibonacci series are 5, then we know that 0, 1, 1, 2 and 3, these numbers should be printed. So we can see that these numbers are printed. Now let's take an example where the number of elements are 10. Remember that when number of elements were 10, the maximum number of the series was 34. So if we take number as 10, then 10 elements are printed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now let's take example where we enter number of elements as 13. So in 13, we can say that this was the 10th element, 11th, 12th and 13th element are also printed. So this was the logic how we can develop and do the Fibonacci series by taking the input of number of elements from the user. If you still have any query related to this program, then you can ask your query in the comment section. I will try my best to solve your query. And if you have any other questions that you are not able to solve, then please do send your questions on my mail ID. I will try my best to solve your queries. Also, if you want to learn the looping statements, what is the loop, what are the different types of loops and what loop to use when. So there is a video that I have already created on my channel. You can go and watch the video on loops.